Have you ever tried so hard to control everything, but things still didn't go your way? Do you often feel exhausted trying to make perfect decisions every time, only to realize life had different plans? Why do we fear letting go, even when holding on only brings stress? Imagine someone standing in a river, trying to push the water back. The harder they try, the more tired they become. But the moment they stop resisting and allow the water to carry them, everything becomes peaceful. This is what life feels like when you stop forcing and start flowing, when you let the universe decide for you. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a space where deep truths are simplified for your everyday peace. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel right now. Your one action helps us keep creating soulful content for you and others like you. Now let's begin. Most people think they must control everything to be happy, the outcome of their job, their relationships, their future. But the more they try to control, the more they suffer. Buddhism teaches that clinging is the root of suffering. The tighter we hold on, the more pain we feel when things don't go our way. Letting the universe decide doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting. Trusting that life is not against you. Trusting that sometimes not knowing is better than having all the answers. When you let go of fear and trust the process, you allow space for miracles. In Buddhism, this idea is known as non-attachment. It means doing your best, but not forcing the result. Like planting a seed, you water it, give it sunlight, but you don't pull it out every day to check if it's growing. You trust nature. You trust the universe. When you let go of the need to control every detail, you become lighter. Your mind becomes calmer. You make space for new possibilities that were blocked by your own resistance. So what if you stopped chasing so hard and started listening instead? What if, for once, you let go and let the universe decide for you? Stay with us. This journey might just change how you live. The illusion of control. What Buddhism teaches about letting go. Sit down, my child. Let your breath slow. Listen not with your ears, but with your heart. Today, I will tell you something that you already feel deep inside, but may have never fully understood. The illusion of control. You wake up every morning thinking you are in charge of your life. You make your to-do lists, plan your steps, aim for success, try to avoid failure. But life doesn't follow your map. The traffic, the phone call, the rejection, the sudden illness, the changing mood, all these small things remind you are not in control. But instead of accepting this truth, what do most people do? They fight harder. They try to control people, control outcomes, control time, emotions, thoughts, even the future. It's like trying to catch the wind with your bare hands. Let me tell you a short Zen story. There was once a man who lived by the sea. One morning, a powerful storm swept away his boat. He cried, "Why me? I worked so hard to build it." He cursed the skies and fell helpless. But a week later, soldiers from the king came to the village and took every man who had a boat. They were forced to join a war. The man with no boat was spared. He sat by the sea and smiled. He whispered, "Maybe the storm knew something I didn't." This is how the universe works. You think something bad has happened, but you don't know what it's protecting you from. You think you're losing control, but maybe you were never supposed to be in control in the first place. Buddha once said, "Attachment is the root of suffering." And control is just another name for attachment. You try to control people so they don't hurt you. You try to control success so you don't feel like a failure. You try to control your image, your path, your results. But none of these are in your hands, not fully. And when they slip through your fingers, you feel pain. That pain is not from life. It is from your resistance to life. Imagine you're holding a rope tightly, pulling hard. The more you pull, the more it burns your hands. But what happens when you let go? The pain stops. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what's not yours to hold. Now, some may ask, but how can I live without control? Won't everything fall apart? And I will answer, no, it will fall into place. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you make space for wisdom. When you release your grip, the universe can finally take your hand. You start noticing signs, coincidences, ease. Things align, not because you push them, but because you flowed with them. There's an old saying in Zen, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. Control stirs the mud. Surrender allows it to settle. In Buddhism, we follow the middle path. Not extreme effort, not lazy inaction, but calm, mindful presence. We act, yes. We make decisions. But we also know when to step back. We understand that the result is not always ours to decide. Do your duty. Speak your truth. Be kind. But after that, let go. That's where peace lives. That's where you become free. A tree doesn't try to grow, it simply grows. A bird doesn't control the wind, it rides it. The moon doesn't chase its reflection in the lake, it just shines. So why should you live differently? You are not here to be the controller of life. You are here to be the participant, the observer, the experiencer. Control is heavy. Letting go is light. Now, I will ask you something simple. Can you recall a time in your life when things went better because you let go? When you didn't force the answer, but it came? When you stopped chasing someone and the right person appeared? When you left a job and a better opportunity found you? That is not coincidence. That is the universe responding to your surrender. In Zen, we call it Wu Wei, effortless action. It is not doing nothing. It is doing everything without force. Like a dancer moving with a rhythm. Like water flowing around rocks. Like leaves dancing in a breeze. Children understand this. Watch them play. No plans, no pressure, just presence. That's why they laugh so easily. That's why their joy is so real. But adults, we forget. We trade wonder for control. And we wonder why we are tired. Let me tell you this. The more you try to control, the more you'll be controlled. By fear, by stress, by expectations. The more you let go, the more you'll be carried. By peace, by trust, by life itself. So next time you feel things slipping away, don't chase. Breathe, observe, let them go, and whisper to the universe, I trust you. Maybe that moment of trust is what your soul has been waiting for all along. Now, close your eyes for just a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of control loosening from your shoulders. Feel the air around you. It's been there, holding you, without asking anything in return. This is how the universe loves you. Silently, wisely. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Sometimes, the unknown has better plans than you ever imagined. Let go, not because you have nothing to hold on to, but because what truly matters will never leave you. Let the universe decide, and you just be. We will continue this journey, step by step, in silence and clarity. The path is long, but the walk is gentle. Are you ready for the next step? Karma and cause. The universal law that guides you. Come, sit. Do not hurry. Let the noise of the world fall behind you like dust from your shoes. Today we will speak of something gentle but powerful. Something that moves silently behind every event in your life. It is not luck. It is not fate. It is not punishment. It is karma. Now, don't be afraid of this word. Many people have heard it, but few truly understand what it means. Let me show you what karma really is, not through complicated teachings, but through simple truth, the kind that even a child can feel. Karma is not a system of rewards and punishments. It is not some invisible force waiting to catch you when you make a mistake. It is not a jailer or a judge. It is a mirror. It reflects. If you plant a mango seed, what grows? A mango tree. If you plant a chili seed, what grows? A chili plant. You do not plant poison and expect fruit. You do not plant a rose and fear thorns. This, my child, is karma. Your thoughts are seeds. Your actions are seeds. Your words, seeds. Your intentions, also seeds. And life, the great universe, is the soil. It receives all without judgment. It gives back what you gave. No more, no less. So when you say something harsh to someone and feel pain later, that is not a curse. It is karma, not punishing you, but showing you the result of what you planted. When you do something kind, then joy returns to you later in a form you never expected. That too is karma. You may wonder, but sometimes I've done good and still suffered. Why? Let me tell you. The fruit doesn't always ripen the moment you plant a seed. Sometimes it takes time, a season, a cycle, a chapter of your life. But the fruit always comes. Always. Karma does not forget. But karma does not hate either. It is not angry. It is not emotional. It is fair. Buddhism teaches us that everything arises from causes and conditions. Nothing exists on its own. A tree grows because there is soil, water, sunlight, and time. Without even one of these, it cannot grow. In the same way, your happiness and your suffering, they're not random. They are results of many small causes, planted sometimes yesterday, sometimes years ago, sometimes even before you knew better. But here is the beauty. Once you understand karma, you can change your life. You can start planting new seeds. Kindness, patience, understanding, honesty, letting go. These are powerful seeds. They may not bloom today, but they will bloom. And when they do, you will stand in a garden of peace you once only dreamed of. People often ask me, Master, why does bad happen to good people? And I smile, because I know even the good must burn away their past karma. Even the wise must pass through storms to clean old dust. And even suffering can be a gift, if you understand it as cleansing, not punishment. Let me tell you another story. There was a monk once, very calm and silent. He lived in the mountains and grew herbs. One day, he found out that his hut had caught fire. Everything he had was gone, but he just stood outside, watching the flames, and said, "Ah, now I can see the moon clearly tonight." You see, he didn't cry. He didn't ask, "Why me?" He knew the fire had come to take away something so that something else could be seen more clearly. That's how karma works sometimes. It burns, yes, but it reveals. You must not fear karma. You must respect it, because it listens, because it remembers, because it is your closest companion, walking beside you through every life you live, every step you take. In Buddhism, there's a law we call pratitya. It means dependent origination. It teaches us that nothing exists alone. Everything that happens is because something else made it possible. You feel sadness not just because of one thing, but because of many small things added together. You feel peace when the right conditions are present. Breath, thought, presence, surrender. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What did I plant? And what can I plant now?" This is not about blame. It is about responsibility. Buddhism never wants you to feel shame. It only wants you to wake up. Karma is not here to punish. It is here to teach. A thief, once awakened, can become a protector. A liar, once silent, can become a teacher. A heart, once broken, can become the healer of others. This is the power of cause and effect. This is the mercy within karma. Now, what about the universe? How does karma relate to surrendering to the universe? The answer is completely. When you trust the universe, you trust that the karma you have planted will bloom in time. You stop rushing. You stop fearing. You know deep inside, I have planted good seeds. I will wait. And even if storms come, you do not panic. Because you know, nothing can take away what's truly meant for you, as long as your causes are pure. Let me tell you something very personal. There was a time when even I, the Zen master you see before you, questioned my path. I meditated for years, gave up comfort, sat in silence. But pain still came. Loneliness came. Loss came. I asked the universe why. And the answer came, not in words, but in stillness. "You are still burning old karma," it said. "Keep planting peace. The harvest is near." And it was true. So now I tell you, when something difficult happens, don't rush to call it unfair. Pause. Breathe. Say, "This too has a cause, and it too shall pass." Then choose your next action wisely. Plant a better seed. Choose peace over revenge. Choose silence over anger. Choose truth over fear. That single choice can change everything. You may not see it now, but karma sees. The universe watches. And when the time is right, the flower will bloom. Maybe not today, maybe not even in this lifetime, but every drop you pour into life, life returns to you. That is law. That is love. And now, you are no longer a prisoner of fate. You are a gardener of your soul. Let that be your power. Let karma guide your path, and let the universe carry the rest. We shall meet again and go deeper still. Until then, plant well, Act mindfully. Trust completely. The law of cause and effect never forgets you, and it never stops loving you. Let us continue walking softly with awareness into the next chapter. Impermanence. Why forcing life never works. Come, sit quietly again. Let the world slow down. Let your breath fall into rhythm like the waves that kiss the shore and then slip away. Today, we will speak of something that touches everything in your life. Impermanence. The truth that nothing lasts forever. You may think this is sad, but listen closely. It is not a reason to despair. It is a reason to live deeply. Impermanence, my child, is not a flaw in life. It is the nature of life. Everything that begins must end. Everything that rises must fall. Everything that is born must return to dust. This is not punishment. It is peace if you can see it. Let me begin with a small story. A young man once came to a Zen master, crying. His heart had been broken by someone he loved. He said, "Master, I don't understand. I gave them everything, and still they left." The master poured tea into his cup, slowly. He kept pouring until the tea spilled over. The young man shouted, "Stop! It's full." The master smiled and said, "So is your heart. You gave too much and expected it to stay full forever. But even tea cools. Even love changes. This is the nature of all things. Do you see? Nothing, not your pain, not your joy, not even your problems, stays the same. Everything flows. Like water, like wind, like clouds drifting across the sky. Buddhism calls this truth anicca, the law of impermanence. You may want to hold on to the good moments. You may want to escape the bad ones. But both will pass in their own time. That is why forcing life never works. Because you're trying to freeze something that is meant to move. Look at the seasons. You cannot stop summer from turning into autumn. You cannot hold back the leaves from falling. You cannot beg the sun to stay high when the moon is rising. Then why do you try to stop people from changing? Why do you beg time to pause? Why do you force happiness to stay when its season is over? You suffer not because life changes. You suffer because you resist the change. There's a Zen saying, "Let go or be dragged." It sounds harsh, but it is kind. Because if you do not let go, life will still move on and it will feel like pain. But if you let go willingly, life will feel like a dance. Everything you love is temporary, but that doesn't mean it's meaningless. In fact, it becomes more beautiful. A flower is beautiful because it fades. A sunset touches your heart because it lasts only a moment. The last hug before a goodbye, it matters more than 1,000 words. Impermanence gives value to time. It reminds you, this moment is precious. It will not come again, so live it fully. Now, you may ask, if everything ends, then what's the point of trying? And I will tell you, the point is not to hold on. The point is to be present. Plant the seed, not because it will live forever, but because it will bloom now. Say, "I love you," not because they will never leave, but because you feel it now. Breathe deeply, not because the air will last forever, but because this breath is a gift. Let me tell you another story. A monk once swept the monastery garden every morning. One day, a visitor asked, "Why do you sweep so carefully if the wind will bring leaves again tomorrow?" The monk smiled and said, "Because today the path is clear." That is how you live with impermanence. You do not clean to stop the dust. You clean to honor the moment. You do not meditate to stop thoughts forever. You meditate to find peace right now. Do you understand? Trying to force life to stay the same is like trying to trap light in your hands. You will always come up empty. But when you open your palms, you feel the warmth. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. The tree lets go of its leaves. The sky lets go of its storms. The river lets go of the rocks. And yet, none of them are poor. They are free. What happens when you stop forcing? You start flowing. You stop chasing what no longer fits. You stop fearing what is meant to change. You begin to see beauty in the cracks, peace in the endings, and joy in simply being. The more you accept impermanence, the more grateful you become. You stop taking people for granted. You listen deeper. You love more gently. You forgive faster. Because you know, nothing is guaranteed. Not tomorrow. Not forever. Only this breath. So when someone hugs you, hold them softly, but let them go. When a moment brings joy, smile, but don't beg it to stay. When pain visits, sit with it, but know it will pass. Even mountains crumble. Even rivers change course. Even the stars will fade one day. But your awareness, your peace, your ability to stay centered through all these changes, that can grow. That is the gift of impermanence. In the teachings of the Buddha, this understanding leads to liberation. Because when you no longer try to control the waves, you learn to surf them. Let me ask you this. Has anything in your life stayed exactly the same? Your body? Your emotions? Your relationships? Even your memories? They shift, fade, change meaning. This is not failure. This is nature. So stop fighting the flow. Let things in when they need to end. Let people walk away if their chapter with you is over. Let sadness come when it must, and go when it will. It is all a dance. And you, my dear one, are not the dancer. You are the music, always changing, always flowing, always alive. Do not fear the end of things. Fear missing them while they're here. Watch the candle as it burns, not because it will last, but because it glows now. Feel the wind on your face, not because it will stay, but because it touches you now. This is the heart of Zen. This is the truth of impermanence. And now, I ask you to close your eyes for a moment. Take one slow breath. Tell yourself gently, I'm not here to hold. I am here to witness. I do not force life. I flow with it. This moment is enough. Let it be your prayer. Let it be your peace. We will meet again in the next breath, in the next teaching, in the next moment of your unfolding. Until then, let go of the need to hold on, because the more you flow, the closer you move to freedom. The power of present moment awareness. Come, child. Sit beside me once again. Let your shoulders relax. Let the tension leave your eyes. You have walked far, not on the ground, but in your thoughts. Today, we will speak of something you often overlook, but something so powerful it can transform your whole life. It is not a secret. It is not something you must travel to find. It is already here. Right now, it is the present moment. The only place where life truly exists. You may ask, but Master, what is so special about the present moment? And I will smile and say, everything, absolutely everything. Think for a moment. Where are your thoughts most of the time? In the past, regretting, remembering, blaming, missing? Or in the future, worrying, planning, expecting, fearing? You live in two places that no longer exist or do not yet exist. But the present, the now, is always waiting for you, like a faithful friend. The Buddha said, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Why do you say this? Because the present is the only place where life happens. The past is gone. The future is not born. Only now is alive. You cannot breathe yesterday's air. You cannot touch tomorrow's sun. You can only feel what is here, now, in this moment. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who spent his whole life chasing happiness. He traveled to temples, bought expensive things, read hundreds of books. But still he felt empty. One day, an old monk gave him a small stone and said, every time your mind wanders, hold this stone and ask, where am I now? The man did as told. Days passed, then weeks. He noticed how many times his mind had left the moment. He began returning to the present, and with it came peace. He returned to the monk and said, this is not a stone. It is a mirror. That's what the present moment does. It shows you the truth. It brings you back to reality, where peace lives. You see, the mind is like a monkey, always jumping, past, future, past, future. It rarely sits still. But when it does, even for a moment, a great silence appears. And in that silence, you meet yourself. You may think peace is far away, but it's just behind your thoughts. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat beside a river and just watched it flow? No phone, no distraction, just you and the water? In that moment, did you feel stress? No, because you were fully present. Have you ever hugged someone and felt everything stop for a second? In that moment, there was no past, no future, only connection. That is the power of the present. Even in suffering, if you stay in the moment, the pain becomes bearable. It is only when your mind says, what if this never ends? Or, why did this happen before? That suffering deepens. The present moment is simple. It only asks you to be, not to fix, not to plan, not to prove. Just be. Now, you may ask, Master, how do I live in the present moment? My mind is always busy. I understand. Let me give you small ways to return in now. Feel your breath. Not just breathe, but feel it. The coolness as it enters your nose. The warmth as it leaves. Just one breath and you are back. Use your senses. Touch something near you. Smell the air. Hear the sound around you. See the colors. Taste your food like it's the first time. Your senses live in the present. When you follow them, you arrive. Slow down. When you walk, walk slowly. When you eat, eat without rush. When you speak, speak with pauses. Life doesn't need to be fast to be full. Watch your thoughts. Don't chase them. Just observe. Like clouds in the sky, let them pass. The more you watch, the more they slow down. Accept this moment. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's painful, say to yourself, this is how it is right now. I accept it. That alone brings peace. There's a reason we call it the present, because it is a gift. Now, some will say, but I must plan for the future. Yes, plan, but don't live there. Use the present to build the future, not to fear it. And some say, but I've had a painful past. Yes, feel it, learn from it, but don't carry it like a stone in your pocket. Each morning, you can choose to put it down. When you live in the present, you begin to notice things others miss. The smile of a stranger, the warmth of tea in your hands, the sound of birds singing a song made just for you, the way sunlight falls across your floor, the stillness between words. These are not small things. These are life itself. Let me tell you something even deeper. The present moment is where the universe speaks. Not with words, but with presence. You ask for signs, for direction, for answers. They are already here, but you miss them when you are lost in thought. So, when you feel confused, don't think harder. Return to the now. Let the answer rise from stillness. Many people spend their lives chasing peace, in jobs, in relationships, in achievements. But peace has always been here, in the space between thoughts. You do not need more things. You need more now. Every problem becomes smaller when viewed from the present. Because the present is not heavy. It is not crowded with stories. It is open. It is light. Now let's pause. Take a breath with me. Feel it. You didn't do anything. You didn't fix anything. And yet, peace came. That is the power of this moment. If you practice being here, just for a few minutes each day, your life will change. You will stop rushing. You will stop worrying. You will begin to see. You will walk slower, speak softer, love deeper, and live fuller. Not because life changed, but because you did. You became aware. And awareness is the beginning of freedom. So, my child, remember this. You are not your past. You are not your future. You are not your thoughts. You are this breath. You are this silence. You are this space. And in this space is peace. Let that be enough. We shall continue our walk soon, with quiet steps and open eyes. But you take a step, then another. Each step guided by your breath, your heart, your quiet knowing. Sometimes the path is rocky. Sometimes it is soft with moss. Sometimes you stumble. Sometimes you fly. But you keep moving, not by force, but by trust. Trusting the flow means listening to life's gentle whispers. It means noticing signs without chasing them. It means opening your heart to what is, not what you wish it to be. This is the essence of surrender. Not giving up, not quitting, but giving way to the natural movement of life. When you surrender, you stop fighting the current inside you. You stop resisting change, loss, pain. You allow life to teach you, to carry you, to shape you. Many ask me, how do I know I'm on the right path? The answer is simple. You feel peace. Not always happiness, peace. A soft, deep calm that holds you even in storms. If you do not feel this peace, maybe you are swimming upstream. Maybe you are holding too tightly. Maybe it is time to relax your grip. This does not mean being lazy or careless. It means being wise, being aware, being patient. When you trust the flow, you become like a leaf on the water. Not powerless, but free. You may not choose the direction, but you choose how you move with the current. Sometimes, the current brings you to beautiful places. Sometimes, it takes you through rough waters. But always, it moves you forward. Let me tell you another story. A fisherman cast his net every day, hoping for a big catch. One day, the sea was calm, and the fish were few. He felt discouraged and angry. But the old fisherman told him, "Do not fight the sea. Fish come when they are ready. Your job is to be patient and ready too." The fisherman listened. He waited, and when the fish came, his net was ready. Trust is like that. You prepare yourself, do your part, and then let life do the rest. Sometimes we forget this and try to control the sea itself. We build walls to keep the waves out. We demand that life serve us our way. But the sea is vast. It cannot be tamed. So surrender. Let go of the need to control every wave. Let go of the fear that if you don't control, you will lose. Because the truth is, life cannot be lost. You are part of it. The universe's rhythm flows in you. When you stop resisting, you start listening. You hear the song beneath the noise. You feel the pulse beneath the stillness. You become one with the dance. This is freedom. And freedom is not found in holding on. Freedom is found in trusting. Trusting the moment. Trusting the unknown. Trusting yourself. You are stronger than you know. More capable than you believe. Because the flow that moves through you is ancient, wise, and kind. Sometimes it will challenge you. Sometimes it will break you. But it will also heal you. It will teach you. It will bring you home. So today, when fear rises, do not push it away. When doubt knocks, do not slam the door. Instead, breathe deeply. Feel the river of life moving inside you. And say, "I trust this flow. I surrender to its rhythm. I am part of this dance." Let that be your prayer. Let that be your peace. And remember, you are not alone. The universe flows with you. It moves in you. It holds you. And it will always guide you if you are willing to listen. So take another breath. Feel your heart open. Feel your soul relax. You are exactly where you need to be. We will walk together again soon. Until then, trust the flow. Let life carry you gently. And know you are safe. Always held, always loved. The art of letting go, freedom beyond attachment. Sit down, my child, and breathe with me. Let the world quiet itself around you. This moment, soft, gentle, is the perfect time to learn something profound. Today, I will speak about letting go, not just as a word, but as a way of living, a way to find freedom in a world full of attachments. You may ask, "Master, what is attachment? Why do we hold on so tightly?" Attachment is like holding a stone in your hand. The stone may be beautiful, heavy, or painful, but the longer you hold it, the more your hand aches. Your fingers cramp, your arm tires. Yet, even as your hand hurts, you are afraid to let go. What if the stone disappears? What if it is the only thing you have? This is how many live with attachments to people, things, ideas, even a pain itself. We hold on because we fear loss, because we believe happiness depends on what we possess, because we confuse possession with security. But I tell you, child, attachment is the root of suffering, because everything you hold will one day change. Everything you love will one day leave. The great Buddha taught this truth clearly. Attachment binds us to the wheel of suffering. Now, this does not mean you must stop loving. It means you must learn to love without chains. Imagine the sky. The clouds pass through it, some dark, some white. The sky never clings to the clouds. It lets them go, over and over again. The sky is free. You too can be free like the sky. Let me tell you a story. A young man loved a flower deeply. Every day, he would pick it and keep it in his room. He watered it carefully. He spoke to it softly. But the flower began to fade. It lost its color and smell. The young man felt sad and angry. One day, an old woman told him, "You cannot keep a flower alive by holding it. You must let it be in a garden where it can grow and breathe." The young man was confused, but he tried. He planted the flower back in the earth. And slowly, the flower bloomed brighter than before. Because it was free. This is the art of letting go. When you let go of what you cannot control, you make space for life to flow. When you release the need to hold tightly, your heart opens. Letting go is not giving up. It is saying yes to change. It is trusting that life has its own rhythm. It is moving with the tides, not against them. Many times we cling to pain, to anger, to old hurts. We hold on to them like treasures. But these are chains. If you want to be free, you must unclench your fists. Letting go also means forgiving. Forgiving others. Forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is strength wrapped in kindness. When you forgive, you drop a heavy load from your back. You free your soul from bitterness. And then you can walk lighter. You can breathe deeper. Now, you might say, but Master, some things are hard to let go. Yes, child. Some things are like thorns in your skin. But even thorns can be removed. Start small. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the stories that keep you stuck. Feel the fear. Feel the sadness. But do not hold on forever. In the stillness, after letting go, you'll find peace. A quiet garden in your heart. The Buddha said, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent to throw it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. You may not realize how much pain you carry in your hands. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it an old grudge? Is it a dream that no longer grows? Look at these things gently. Do not judge. Just see, and then breathe, and then slowly let go. It is not easy. It takes courage, but the reward is great. Because when you let go, you open your hands to receive new love, new joy, new peace. Attachment closes doors. Letting go opens them. Let me tell you one more story. A master once held a cup of tea, filled to the brim. He tried to pour more tea into it, but the tea spilled over the sides. He smiled and said, you cannot pour new tea into a full cup. Empty your cup first. Your heart is like that cup. You cannot receive freedom, joy, or peace if your hands are closed. Open them, empty them, and let life fill you in ways you never imagined. This is the art of letting go. It is the path to freedom. It is the key to peace. Remember, child, you are not your attachments. You are the space between them. You are the sky behind the clouds. You are the wind that carries them away. Let go and fly free. We will meet again. Until then, practice the art of letting go. It is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Peace be with you. Stop chasing. What you seek is already within you. Come, my dear one. Let's sit quietly together. Let us leave behind all hurry, all noise, all plans. Because today, I will tell you something that the world has forgotten. You don't have to chase. What you're looking for is already inside you. You see, most people live as if they are forever behind. Behind in success, behind in love, behind in peace. They run faster, work harder, compare more, worry deeper. They say, I'll be happy when I get this. I'll rest when I have that. I'll feel complete once I reach there. But let me tell you, there is no there. There is only here. And chasing will only make you tired, not peaceful. Let me tell you a small story. There was once a traveler who searched the whole world for a magical jewel. He crossed rivers, mountains, forests. He faced storms, hunger, and fear. But after many years, he returned home, empty-handed and exhausted. As he sat on the floor of his little hut, broken and lost, his hand touched something under the mat. He lifted it. There was the very jewel he had been chasing. It had been with him all along. This story is not about a man. It is about you. And the jewel is your inner peace, your worth, your truth. We're taught to look outside for what can only be found inside. And so we chase. We chase people's approval. We chase beauty. We chase power. We chase knowledge. But the more we chase, the more distant we feel from ourselves. Like a thirsty person running after a mirage. In Zen we say, the more you seek, the more you lose your way. This doesn't mean stop learning or growing. It means stop chasing from a place of emptiness. Because you are not empty. You are already full. You just forgot. The world tells you that you are missing something. That you must add more to become more. But the truth is, you must remove. Remove the noise. Remove the lies. Remove the weight. So you can finally see what has always been there. Your peace. Your wisdom. Your center. Let me ask you something. Have you ever achieved something you wanted for a long time and then still felt restless afterward? You got the job, you got the relationship, you got the house. But then what? The restlessness returned. Why? Because the outer can never fill the inner. It's like pouring water into a basket. It runs right through until you understand who you are without all the outer things. You will keep running and running and running. Zen teaches that the truth is not found in books or places or achievements. It is found in silence. It is found in stillness. It is found when you stop and turn inward. You do not need to climb a mountain to find yourself. You need only sit still. You do not need to shout to be heard by life. You need only listen. You do not need to chase the wind. You are the sky that holds it. Let me tell you something deeper now. Every time you run after something, thinking, "This will make me whole," you are telling yourself that you are not whole already, and your mind begins to believe it. And so, the chase continues. But what if you stopped? What if you paused right now and asked, what am I really looking for? Peace, love, clarity, freedom? Now ask yourself, have you ever truly found those things in the outside world? You may have tasted them, but they always faded. Yet, when you've sat quietly with yourself, in meditation, in nature, in deep thought, haven't you felt something different? A kind of peace that doesn't depend on anything. A kind of joy that needs no reason. A kind of clarity that rises like still water. That is what's already inside you. That is what no one can give and no one can take away. Let me share another story. A man came to a monk and said, "Master, I am lost. I have read so many books, tried so many paths, followed so many teachers, but still I feel confused. Please guide me." The monk asked, "What are you carrying in your bag?" The man said, "All the books, teachings, and tools I've collected on my journey." The monk said, "Put them down." The man did. The monk then said, "Now sit and be still. Your truth is not in the bag. It is in you." The man wept, not out of sadness, but because for the first time, he felt peace. You see, child, we all carry bags full of things we think we need. But often, what we need most is to empty the bag. Now, I am not saying to stop dreaming, or to stop creating, or to stop walking forward. Dream, create, move, but don't do it to become something. Do it because you already are something. Move not from lack, but from wholeness. Chasing is a movement born of fear. Creating is a movement born of truth. When you stop chasing, you begin receiving. You begin aligning. You begin noticing the beauty that was always around you and inside you. The sky above you is already vast. The earth beneath you is already rich. The breath within you is already sacred. You do not need to arrive. You are already home. In Zen we say, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Nothing changes on the outside, but inside, everything is different. You are no longer chasing. You are simply being present, being open, being free. So now, let's try something together. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I chasing right now? Is it success, love, clarity, forgiveness? Now say gently to yourself, I already hold what I seek. I do not need to run. I am enough as I am. Breathe again. Feel the peace return. That peace is not coming from outside. It is coming from within you. You are the source. The ocean does not need to search for water, and you do not need to search for truth. You are truth. You are whole. You are home. Let that sink in deeply. Let rest in your heart. And the next time the world tells you to hurry, to chase, to prove, smile softly and say to yourself, I do not chase. I attract what is meant for me by being who I truly am. That, my child, is the quiet power of Zen. You are not here to run endlessly. You are here to realize that everything you've ever searched for is already inside you. Stay here with this knowing and let it carry you peacefully into every moment of your life. We will meet again in silence, in stillness, in truth. Accept everything, resist nothing, the way of inner peace. Sit with me now, child. Let the outside world fade away. Let your breath slow down like a calm river. You don't have to run. You don't have to fix anything right now. Just be here with me. Today, we will talk about something the mind often resists. Yet, it is the very doorway to freedom. Acceptance. Yes, that quiet, gentle word, accept, not tolerate, not pretend, but truly, deeply, peacefully accept what is. Because when you stop resisting life, you begin to feel life. You begin to live it, not as a battle, but as a flow. You may ask, Master, how can I accept things that hurt me? How can I accept the unfairness, the pain, the loss? These are honest questions, and the answer is not a quick one. But I will show you, slowly, softly, how the path of acceptance is not weakness, but great strength. Let me begin with a story. There was once a tree, tall and proud. It stood straight and strong, its branches wide, reaching the sky. One year, a powerful storm came. The wind roared like a beast. Rain fell like knives. Lightning split the sky. The proud tree resisted. It fought the storm. It held firm until it broke. Beside it was a small, soft bamboo. The bamboo bent with the wind. It swayed, moved, danced with the storm. And when the storm passed, the bamboo still stood. You see, child, acceptance is like the bamboo. It does not mean letting life crush you. It means moving with life, not against it. Most of our pain does not come from what happens to us. It comes from our resistance to what happens. Something happens. We say, this should not have happened. And in that moment, we create suffering. The event may last 1 minute, but our resistance can last years. Acceptance does not change what happened, but it changes how you carry it. When you accept, your heart softens, your breath deepens, your mind clears. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine holding a tight fist all day. Your hand begins to hurt. Your fingers ache. Your muscles grow tired. Now just open the hand. Let go. That's what acceptance feels like. A deep relief. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to like everything. But you can still say, this is how it is right now, and I allow it to be. That small shift, from resistance to allowing, is the beginning of peace. Now let's look deeper. There are many things we resist every day. We resist our emotions. We resist the actions of others. We resist our past. We resist our own flaws. We resist silence. We resist uncertainty. And the more we resist, the tighter our hearts become. But the moment we stop, the moment we take a breath and say, it's okay, let it be, we create space. And in that space, healing begins. You may wonder, if I accept, won't I become passive? No, child. True acceptance is not giving up. It is seeing clearly. When you accept reality as it is, you can respond wisely, not react blindly. A Zen teaching says, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. Let me tell you another story. There was a man who hated the rain. Every time it rained, he cursed the sky. He stayed angry, miserable, soaked in his bitterness. One day, he saw an old monk walking peacefully in the rain. The monk's robe was wet, his feet muddy, but he smiled as he walked. The man asked, why are you not angry? Doesn't the rain bother you? The monk replied, when it rains, I let it rain. So simple, yet so powerful. Can you let it rain in your life too? Can you let your emotions rise without judging them? Can you let people be as they are without trying to change them? Can you let life flow, even when it is not how you expected? If you can, you will find freedom. Now let's talk about pain. Yes, pain, emotional, physical, mental. It is part of life. We cannot avoid it fully. But suffering, that is different. Suffering is what we add to pain when we resist it. Pain says, I am here. Suffering says, you should not be here. Acceptance says, I see you. I allow you. And in that allowing, pain begins to lose its power. Breathe with me now. Inhale. Exhale. Notice how your breath does not resist. It flows in. It flows out. Just like life, you don't have to chase the breath. You don't have to control it. You trust it. That is acceptance in its purest form. Can you trust life the same way? Even when it's uncertain, even when it's messy, even when it hurts, can you trust that everything, even the hard moments, is part of a larger unfolding? Like a puzzle piece, strange alone, but perfect in the whole. Acceptance is the doorway to understanding. When you accept your anger, you begin to see the hurt beneath it. When you accept your sadness, you begin to feel your tenderness. When you accept your fear, you begin to touch your courage. Acceptance makes the unseen seen, and the seen held. Let's go even deeper now. In Zen we say, the obstacle is the path. Whatever you are resisting, that is your teacher. It has come to show you something, not to punish you, but to awaken you. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this showing me? That shift alone opens a new world. You begin to walk with life, not against it. Now, let's talk about accepting yourself. This may be the hardest lesson of all, because the mind has so many voices. You are not enough. You should be different. You must be better. But I tell you this, you are already enough. Right here, right now, with all your flaws, with all your fears, with all your wounds. You are worthy of love, worthy of peace, worthy of belonging. You do not have to earn it. You only have to accept it. Say to yourself now, I accept myself as I am. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I am allowed to be imperfect. Let those words sit in your heart like sunlight on cold earth. Feel them melt the tightness inside you. Acceptance is not a final step. It is a daily practice. Each day, something will test your peace. Each day, something will not go your way. And each day, you will have the chance to resist or to soften, to fight or to flow, to judge or to understand. Choose acceptance, child, again and again. And over time, your life will begin to feel lighter, more real, more grounded, more peaceful. Not because everything is perfect. Let the universe work. Surrender is the deepest strength. Come, child, sit beside me again. No need to bring your worries. Leave them at the door of this moment. Bring only your breath. Bring only your heart. Let us speak of something very sacred today. Something invisible to the eyes, but deeply felt by the soul. Surrender. Yes, that word. That soft yet powerful word that many fear. But I tell you, surrender is not weakness. It is not defeat. It is not failure. Surrender is the deepest strength. It is the purest trust. It is the wisest path. It is the moment when you say to life, I no longer need to control everything. I will let the universe guide me. Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to force something? A relationship? A result? A success? You plan, you push, you struggle, you tighten your grip, and still, it slips away. You feel tired. You feel lost. You feel confused. Why? Because you are trying to do what only the universe can do. You are trying to carry something that is not yours to carry. The great secret is, you are not alone in this life. You are held by something greater. Call it the universe. Call it existence. Call it divine rhythm. Call it what your heart understands. But know this, it moves through you. It lives in you. It flows around you like a silent river. And when you surrender, you stop fighting that river. You stop swimming upstream. You lie back. You float. You allow. You may not know where it's taking you, but you begin to trust that it knows. Let me tell you a story. A farmer had a horse. One day, the horse ran away. The neighbor said, "What bad luck." The farmer said, "Maybe so." The next day, the horse returned, bringing 3 wild horses with it. The neighbor said, "What good luck." The farmer said, "Maybe so." The day after, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, and he fell, breaking his leg. The neighbor said, "What bad luck." The farmer said, "Maybe so." A week later, the army came to the village, taking all able-bodied young men for war. But the farmer's son was not taken because of his broken leg. And the neighbor said,